Well, joining me now is Motor Racing Network's Alan Cavana. Alan, great to see you as always, and thanks for the time. NASCAR Cup Series here in Nashville for the 4th consecutive year. What are some things you're looking for in Sunday's race?
Oh, this sun and this heat. For the first time, it's going to be a day race. So this hot summer heat, it's going to be so different because we're used to racing at night here. So yes, it's a concrete track. The temperature of the track won't be as big of a difference, but just on these athletes, these drivers, these teams, these crews, it will make a difference on handling. That's something these teams are going to have to figure out because this is like a temperature they've never raced in before.
In the previous 3 races, it's been all about Chevy.
Yeah.
They've dominated. Was that just specific to that year? Is it something about this track? And can they come here and make it a 4-peat?
That's a great question. I mean, we've seen Hendrick Chevys dominate, Ross Chastain, Mr. Popular with the watermelon last year. I don't know if that's a trend or if it just happened to be year to year. You think about this year, being a concrete track, we've been to 2 of them, Bristol and Dover. Denny Hamlin has won those. He drives a Toyota. Yeah. Maybe that's a change. We've been to Gateway, which is similar to this track in terms of length. The Fords dominated. So it really is a big question with all the unknowns that we have this year. Who's going to come in and win this race? Because the Chevys have dominated, but this year on concrete, it's been all about the Toyotas.
And going back to Ross Chastain, just because he is the reigning winner of this Cup Series race here in Nashville, he's looking for his first win of the season. What's it going to take for him to get it done and repeat as the winner here?
Got to find some speed that those Trackhouse cars just haven't had this year so far. We haven't seen that dominant speed, those laps led. That's what you really want to think about, right? You have to put yourself in position to get the victory first. And I don't feel like we've seen that out of Ross Chastain, out of Trackhouse so far this season yet. So he has to repeat some of that, has to find some of that melon magic. Hopefully, watermelons grow in the hot sun. Maybe some of that comes out once again and we get some of that watermelon magic once again. But Ross Chastain needs to find speed. That's ultimately the answer.
And this regular season is winding down. Not a lot of opportunities for those drivers who aren't locked into the postseason already to get a win and advance and feel good about things moving forward. So who is kind of like on the line of do or die, needs a win, has to get in? 2
big names. We already mentioned Ross Chastain, but there are 2 two-time champions out there that still don't have a victory that are on the line right now. Joey Logano and Kyle Busch, 2 drivers you would never believe we would be worried about them making the playoffs. It just shows you how tough this NASCAR playoff system is when guys like Joey Logano and Kyle Busch at this point in the season still aren't locked in. We still have questions. This is a track they haven't shown much speed at, many results, Kyle Busch, that first year, but that was back when he was still in a Toyota. We haven't seen much out of him in this RCR Chevy. They need something this weekend, at least a positive in the right direction.
Right. Okay, so looking at the race overall, looking at the field for the Cup Series, who is maybe your, I'm putting all chips in on this driver, and maybe who's your dark horse to come here and take the checkered flag?
It's hard to pick against Kyle Larson, but I'm going with the concrete. I like that. I'm going with Denny Hamlin this weekend. There's something about that surface. It's the setups that are different. I think the wrench in the plan will be that heat, and I think Chris Gabehart, Denny Hamlin's crew chief, will really plan for it.
Dark horse?
Dark horse this week. Let's go with the Melon Man. Why not?
Okay,
I love seeing the celebration. I want to see it again.
All right, Alan, as always, we love your insight. Appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.